have you been? I know, it's been a while since our last video. I sincerely apologize. However, it's not entirely my fault. I've been very busy, but I've decided to prioritize the channel, so you'll be seeing a lot of me in the near future. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I welcome you to Wine ASMR. I'm teaching you everything about wine while simultaneously relaxing you with nice ASMR sounds. So, first things first, Happy New Year. I wish you health, happiness, wish you a prosperous New Year 2021. I wish you longevity, anything really you desire for this year. I hope you will achieve it. How was your Christmas and your New Year? Weird, kind of different, right? Due to the pandemic. I can relate to that. Since we are in the new year, we have to celebrate, right? And when we celebrate any occasion, there's only one wine we can open. It's the sparkling wine. Be careful, friends. Do not call it champagne. Champagne is a specific wine that is produced in France, in the Champagne region, the Champagne region. It's a denomination, so only wine, sparkling wine, that is produced in Champagne can be called champagne. Similar to today's wine, which is an Italian wine, Prosecco. It's produced in Northern Italy. Today's producer is Gancia. And before we open the bottle, let's just discuss a little bit about the Prosecco and sparkling wine in general. So, what is Prosecco? It's a grape. It's also known as Glera, but I'm sure you've heard about it as Prosecco. So it's produced in northern East Italy. It covers 9 regions, from the Veneto to the Friuli, Venezia, Giulia regions. It's also a denomination, so if Prosecco is not 100% from Prosecco grape, the denomination allows a maximum of 15% of another variety to be blended with it. So, for example, you have a Prosecco 85% with a Chardonnay 55%. This is a blend. 85% Prosecco with 15% Chardonnay. So this is considered a blend. However, usually you will find Prosecco on its own. Today's bottle is an interesting one, because Prosecco will be a cheap alternative to champagne, not meaning cheap in quality necessarily, but in price. So this is friendlier to your wallet. It's gonna be a little bit of a challenge to open a champagne bottle in an ASMR video, because usually you make it pop, it makes a loud sound, and it's gonna be a challenge. Now, the problem with any sparkling wine, for me at least, is that it is never ever cold enough. So I've placed this in, it was in my cooler, but I placed it also in the refrigerator for 20 minutes, and I have it on ice now. Still, let's see if we're gonna achieve this. So there are different levels of classification when it comes to sparkling wine. For Prosecco, we have a DOCG. We've also mentioned this in the previous episode, in the Barolo episode, again visiting Italy. So DOCG is Denominazione Origine Controllata Garantita, which is the highest level of quality of classification wines in Italy. So another classification would be according to the bubbles of the sparkling wine. So how bubbly is your wine? We have spamanzi, which is the highest level, so excessive bubbles. For me, the more the better. Excessive bubbles would be spamanzi. We have frizzante, which is the medium level, and we have tranquillo, which is like a still type of prosecco. Now, I'm excited to open this bottle. Usually, you never want to age a sparkling wine. If it's champagne, like maybe Moët with Clicquot, some of these good quality Dom Perignon, some of these good quality champagnes have they have vintages on the bottle. So if you see, for example, 2012 or 1999, or I'm just saying random dates here, if you see vintage on the bottle, then it can be aged. However, usually you won't see vintage on a champagne or a prosecco or a sparkling wine in general. So it's better to be enjoyed fresh, and to be honest, I don't really see the purpose in aging sparkling wine. So you might wonder, what is the difference between prosecco and champagne? Apart from the region, which is France, Champagne, and prosecco in Italy, the grape is prosecco produced in Northern Italy. But what is the difference? It actually is has a huge difference in the creation of the champagne or the prosecco. So champagne follows a second fermentation which takes place in the bottle, whereas prosecco follows a second fermentation. Every sparkling wine follows a second fermentation. That's how it becomes sparkling wine. So prosecco follows the fermentation, the second fermentation process in a tank. So this makes it a little bit more fresh, more fruity than champagne. No yeast characteristics. The tank method is cheaper. That's why the price of the prosecco will be cheaper than your champagne. And we tend to refer to any sparkling wine as champagne. I also do this sometimes, even though I know the difference. And another very important factor is to find out if your champagne is dry or not. So you're looking once again for a single word on the bottle. It's the French word brut. Okay, so if you see brut on the bottle, it means it's dry, it's unrefined, it's raw. Okay. Now, I'm expecting from prosecco, because I've tried out obviously many prosecco, many different prosecco bottles, and I'm expecting freshness, fruitiness, citrus, and in general just an enjoyable, pleasurable drink. So let's see. Time to go ahead and follow up with our challenge. Let's see if we're gonna make some noise or not. So, champagne or prosecco should be served between 8 to 10 degrees Celsius. So let's see. Just gonna spin it a little bit round in order to increase its coolness. Now have, at least I know, 3 different methods of opening a sparkling wine. The first one is your typical party method, which I call, where you shake the bottle, you remove the foil, you shake the bottle, so pressure rises, forcing the cork to exit. You're also gonna make a huge mess, probably spill half of the sparkling wine. So unless you're celebrating something crazy and you can't control yourself, I wouldn't recommend you do this. Second method is very impressive. It's called the sabras. You can actually Google this or check out videos on YouTube. I've tried a couple of times. I've also failed a couple of times. So you want to hold your bottle. You want to hold your bottle with the neck facing, obviously, opposite you, and you want to grab a knife or even a glass. Hold on. So first things first, this is a flute glass, ideal for champagne because it's tight, as you can see, and it concentrates the aromas and the flavors of the sparkling wine. Back to the opening the sabras method. So you want to actually follow this movement, hitting the end of the bottleneck, the cork, with some force. So you're gonna do 1, 2, 3, and what's gonna happen, I'm not gonna explain how this happens now, but what's gonna happen is that by doing this, the bottleneck of the champagne is going to be cut off. So it's quite impressive, and usually if you do this correctly, if you're experienced enough, you do 1, 2, you open it and you place your glass straight away in order to pour the sparkling wine. So third method, today's method. Okay, Gancia, the producer, by the way, not sure if we mentioned this. So, as soon as this is what you want to pay attention to when you open the bottle, because this holds the cork down, okay? So slowly, I'm gonna release this. When I take it off immediately, I'm gonna place my hand on the cork. So, this is quite tight, okay? No problem. Because you never know, maybe it's been shaken, maybe pressure's been already applied to it, so just to be safe. Also, you want to point it in the opposite direction, not facing any people. However, what we're gonna do is hold it still and twist the bottom of the champagne bottle, of the Prosecco bottle, I'm sorry. Hopefully we're gonna get a very small sound. Let's see. Okay. I can already feel pressure, so I'm gonna slow it down a bit. So I'm getting a lot of aromas of fruitiness, citrus, green apple. This is green apple all the way. And a little bit of French toast. So this is an amazing combination. French toast, green apples and citrus. Now, this is a pale yellow color. You can identify, I'll give you a trick here. You can identify the quality of your sparkling wine from the consistency of the bubbles. Okay, so if they're consistent repetitively, then it means it's a good quality sparkling wine. These bubbles are very aggressive on the eye, let's see on the palate. Very fresh straight away, very acidic. Medium body, nice after finish. Nice aftertaste. Freshness, fruitiness. You know, if this is produced in the summer, you also get characteristics of stone, of soil, of minerals. However, this is fruit, citrus, green apple all the way. So food pairing with sparkling wine, even if it's Prosecco champagne, doesn't matter, food pairing is standard here. You can go with oysters, you can go with salmon, caviar, sushi. Sushi is an extremely popular combination with champagne. And yeah, this one is in particular, the Gancia Prosecco is usually consumed as an aperitif. So food that would go with it would be hors d'oeuvres, amuse-bouche, and just starters in general. Now let's rate this wine. I'm gonna give it 86 points for Gancia Prosecco. I hope you've been enjoying the videos. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Comment down below, let me know what you think. Like the video, add me on my Instagram account, it's in the description. And I'll see you soon. Let's have an amazing year, a positive year. I wish good things for you. And drink responsibly, enjoy. Happy New Year.